Back at CES 2025, Ecovacs unveiled several new products, including the DEEBOT X8 Pro OMNI that I recently reviewed. If you haven't seen that video, you can check it out right after this one. To go along with their flagship, they also announced the DEEBOT T50 Pro OMNI and the DEEBOT T50 Max Pro OMNI, as you can see right here. These two robot vacuums are easier on the wallet, but still deliver plenty of power and a feature set typically seen only on the highest end. Compared to the T30 series, the T50 models bring a lot of upgrades and improvements. This includes TrueEdge 2.0 edge cleaning that helps the robots clean right up to baseboards and walls. There's been several upgrades to the Omni Station and better obstacle avoidance and navigation with an embedded LiDAR, plus AI VI 3.0, which combines an RGB camera and a structured light sensor. There's quite a few more upgrades as you can see on the chart, but we'll dive more into them later in the video. The best part is the T50 series is only a small price increase over the T30s, and as you can see, you're gaining a lot. In this video, we're taking a look at both models, and I'll be covering the similarities, the differences, and performance testing both. This way, you'll have a better understanding as to which vacuum might be right for you. Let's kick this off with the similarities and differences. The Omni stations are very similar in design. In fact, the only difference I've been able to spot are the accent colors. The DEEBOT T50 Max Pro OMNI are gold, whereas the T50 Pro OMNI are silver or gray. Both stations feature Ecovacs' latest technology, including the ability to auto-empty the dustbin into a pre-installed dust bag that can be accessed by removing the front panel. You'll also find the water detergent tank in here as well. Both also feature automatic mop cleaning. However, the T50 Max Pro OMNI is temperature controlled from 40 to 75 degrees Celsius. The T50 Pro OMNI is limited to 75 degrees Celsius only. Both stations also support hot air drying, but the T50 Max Pro OMNI achieves a higher temperature at 63 degrees Celsius versus the T50 Pro OMNI's 45 degrees Celsius. Looking at the robots themselves, you'll notice right away at just how much smaller the DEEBOT T50 Pro OMNI is. In fact, this is Ecovacs' lowest profile vacuum to date, with a thickness of 81 millimeters versus 98 millimeters on the T50 Max Pro OMNI. This allows it to fit into tighter spaces that other robot vacuums, including the T50 Max Pro OMNI, can't. That said, there's extra components inside the T50 Max Pro OMNI that need the extra space, so the larger size is for good reason. In addition to the size, they also have a different appearance, especially when you're looking at them from the top. The T50 Max Pro OMNI features a metal magnetic top plate that can easily be removed, exposing the on and off switch, Wi-Fi button, as well as the dustbin. The T50 Pro is a little bit more simplistic in its design and features a plastic cover that hides the buttons and dustbin. Flipping the robots over showcases more similarities. Both use the Osmo Turbo 2.0 mopping system with TrueEdge 2.0 that extends the mop for cleaning along walls, baseboards, and cabinets. Both also support auto mop lifting. However, the DEEBOT T50 Max Pro OMNI can lift 18 millimeters, whereas the T50 Pro OMNI lifts half that at 9 millimeters. Both robots also feature Ecovacs' Zero Tangle 2.0 brush that decreases the likelihood of hair getting caught when cleaning. Going back to that added thickness on the T50 Max Pro OMNI, the reason why it's slightly thicker than the T50 Pro OMNI comes down to its suction capabilities and battery. The extra space is needed for the 100-watt energetic fan that works in tandem with the 18,500 Pascal suction force. It uses blast or boosted large airflow suction technology combined with the Zero Tangle 2.0 brush. This allows for stronger suction and deeper cleaning, especially on carpets, while also maintaining a tangle-free experience. Additionally, the T50 Max Pro OMNI has a Super Boost battery. This allows it to deliver continuous cleaning, lasting longer, and staying cool throughout the session. Now, don't get it twisted, the T50 Pro OMNI is still quite powerful given its size and the fact that it produces a suction force of 15,000 Pascal, which is higher than most other robot vacuums in its class. Both robot vacuums also share the same navigation and obstacle avoidance system. The only real difference here is where the sensors are placed. Since the T50 Pro OMNI is thinner, the sensors are lower to the ground, which does impact the performance slightly, as you'll see later when we get to testing. Lastly, both robots feature the most recent version of Ecovacs' voice assistant known as Eco GPT, which supports a plethora of commands. Both also support the same Ecovacs app with identical layouts and adjustment settings. This includes things like accessing the camera to take pictures and record video while remotely controlling the robot to patrol your home. Also, map customization with multi-floor support and customized cleaning options are identical for these two vacuums. Now that we've covered the similarities and differences, let's do a few tests and talk about day-to-day performance. Okay, let's kick things off with mopping, beginning with spilled coffee. Both robots perform excellent here, producing identical results. This includes the TrueEdge 2.0 system, as I've placed several drops of coffee underneath my cabinets, and both robots were able to clean the areas perfectly without smearing or leaving behind a mess. Moving on to a harder test using ketchup and mustard. Again, both robots performed excellent. Here you can see how they utilize their onboard AI features such as instant remop, which can detect any remaining stains. If any leftover residue is detected, it will remop those areas until they're clean. Lastly, let's take a look at how each base handles cleaning the mop pads. All right, so we just finished up the mopping test, the ketchup, the mustard, and the coffee stains. Let's see how well the vacuum can clean itself by taking a look at the dirty water tank here. It feels significantly lighter compared to some of the other robot vacuums that I've tested, so I'm assuming there's not that much liquid in it, but it is some highly concentrated nastiness, because that is some really dirty water. So yeah, I think it did a pretty good job cleaning the mop pads. Okay, so once again, I finished up all of the mopping tests for the T50 Pro. Let's go ahead and take a look at that tank and see how dirty that water is. Just like the T50 Max, it feels very, very light, but yeah. That's dirty water. So again, just like the T50 Max, it's doing a good job at cleaning the mops and getting my floors clean too. Moving on to vacuuming and object avoidance. This is where you'll see more of a difference between these two models. The DEEBOT T50 Pro OMNI took longer to clean, but removed nearly all of the dirt. However, it did struggle with avoiding the objects. It wasn't aggressive by any means, and it has never gotten stuck during my time using it, but it did gently move things around during the vacuuming test. That said, in real-world use, it does a great job at avoiding furniture legs and detecting other stationary objects. The T50 Max Pro OMNI performed quite a bit better here, especially given the harder objects that were used. My theory is that due to the lower placement of the sensors on the T50 Pro OMNI, it's not able to get as good of a visual representation of the items as the T50 Max Pro OMNI with its slightly taller design. While both robots do a great job vacuuming, where the T50 Max Pro OMNI really shines is on carpets and thicker rugs, especially with pet hair that's been embedded into the fibers. Here you can see just how well the DEEBOT T50 Max Pro OMNI performs. It's able to remove all of the dog hair from my rug while also ensuring no hair is wrapped around the brush or tangled along the edges. The DEEBOT T50 Pro OMNI is definitely capable of cleaning pet hair from carpet, but not to the same degree as the T50 Max Pro OMNI. As for sound, the DEEBOT T50 Pro OMNI is obviously going to be the quieter vacuum, especially when in the highest suction mode. This is due to it having a slightly lower suction force than the DEEBOT T50 Max Pro OMNI. However, in real-world use, the sound difference is negligible, and it shouldn't be a factor when deciding between these two vacuums. In fact, let's talk about what you should consider and who I think each of these vacuums is tailored to. In day-to-day use, it's hard to tell each of these vacuums apart unless you know what to look for. Both perform very well in nearly every category, including cleaning along baseboards and reaching into corners or edges. Both provide a minimal maintenance experience outside of routine tasks like cleaning sensors, swapping the dust bags, and tending to the water tanks. But despite these similarities in performance and features, there were a few things that stood out to me during my experience. Starting with the DEEBOT T50 Pro OMNI. This little guy is excellent at getting under furniture that I would normally need to move to vacuum under. Its performance is nearly identical to the T50 Max Pro OMNI in both vacuuming and mopping on hard flooring. However, if you have mixed flooring such as tile, rugs, and carpeted rooms, you may find that it can get caught on the corners of thicker rugs, and the auto mop lifting may not be sufficient enough when crossing over carpet. Additionally, if you tend to have toys or objects scattered around, you may find the T50 Pro OMNI gently moving them around. Now, as I said previously, I've yet to get it stuck on cords or my son's toys, and given how small the clearance is under the vacuum, I don't suspect this to be an issue. But don't be alarmed if your shoes are in two different locations after it runs a cycle. Switching things over to the T50 Max Pro OMNI, it pretty much makes up for any of the shortcomings of its little brother. This vacuum performs stellar on all floor types, and thanks to its auto mop lift doubling the height of the T50 Pro OMNI, you shouldn't have to worry about it getting caught on the corners of rugs or when crossing over carpets. Additionally, its Omni Station provides a slightly more hands-off approach with its temperature-controlled hot water mop cleaning and slightly warmer hot air drying. This is especially important in areas with a lot of humidity like Florida where I live. Plus, it handles pet hair on carpets a bit better than the T50 Pro OMNI. Now, as for pricing, both models will have a 15% off coupon starting on March 18th. The T50 Max Pro Omni starts at $999.99, but after the coupon, it brings it down to $849.99. The T50 Pro Omni is priced at $799.99, but after that coupon, the price is down to $679.99. This is very aggressive pricing. In my opinion, it's a steal considering how much performance you're getting. Overall, both models handled mopping tasks like pros, but the T50 Max Pro Omni's enhanced suction made it a clear winner for tackling carpets and embedded pet hair. So here's my recommendation. If you live in a small apartment with mostly hard flooring, have lots of low-hanging furniture that other vacuums can't seem to fit under, or you have a limited budget to spend on a robot floor cleaner, then I highly recommend the T50 Pro Omni. In fact, it's probably going to be the more popular robot simply due to its cost to performance. That said, if you have a larger home with multiple floor types, have pets that shed a lot, live in an area with high humidity, and don't mind spending an additional $100 on a floor cleaner, then go with the T50 Max Pro Omni. Ultimately, it's a better robot vacuum, but depending on your home layout and floor types, the extra performance may not be needed. So make sure to think about your needs before buying either one. If you're interested in learning more about the T50 series, I'll drop links in the description as well as the pinned comment. You'll also find any discount codes or special offerings down there as well. Let me know what your thoughts are on the T50 series down below. Now, if these two robots didn't tickle your fancy, then maybe you should check out the DEEBOT X8 Pro Omni, which features several world's first innovations. You can find that video right around this area here. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider giving it a like, subscribe for more videos just like this, and I'll see you beautiful people in the next one.